You know, artificial intelligence in healthcare isn't some far-off dream anymore. It's here. And if you're a leader, this isn't just about installing new software. It's about steering through a massive fundamental shift. So in this explainer, we're going to break down a strategic framework to help you do just that.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Is AI a miracle cure or a total management nightmare? It really promises these incredible advances, but actually getting it implemented, that can feel like an impossible task. The difference between that miracle and that nightmare, well, as we're about to see, it all comes down to one thing: how you lead the change. First things first, let's be super clear about something. Bringing AI into the mix isn't just a tech upgrade. Nope. This is a fundamental rewiring of how healthcare works, from the front desk all the way to the operating room. And that means the old playbook just isn't going to cut. Okay, so if you're going to lead your team through a change this big, you have to start with the why. Everyone needs to get what's in it for them, for patients, for the entire organization. So let's dive into the incredible promise that AI holds for the future of medicine.
AI's potential really comes to life in three main areas. First, you've got predictive analytics, which is kind of like seeing into the future. Then there's automated diagnostics, which gives us superpowers right now. And finally, organizational adaptation, which is all about making sure these amazing innovations actually work in the real world. Let's start with that first one.
So, predictive analytics completely flips the script. We go from being reactive to being proactive. Just imagine, instead of waiting for a patient to have a crisis, AI is constantly analyzing data to flag risks early. This lets doctors and nurses step in before a small problem becomes a huge one. It fundamentally changes the game.
Next up is automated diagnostics. And look, this isn't about replacing doctors or nurses. Not at all. It's about giving them a superpower. These AI algorithms can look at scans, lab results, all kinds of data, and spot tiny patterns a human eye might miss. This leads to faster, more accurate diagnoses. The key word here is that it augments human expertise. It doesn't erase it. And that brings us to the third, absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle. You could have the most brilliant AI on the planet, but if your organization doesn't adapt, it's basically worthless. If your workflows and your strategies are still stuck in the past, you'll never get the real benefit. The whole organization has to evolve with the tech. So when you put all these pieces together, what do you get? It's simple, really. You get better decisions. AI can sift through mountains of information, way more than any person could, and pull out these clear, actionable insights. And that empowers our healthcare providers to improve patient care and, ultimately, get better outcomes. We've talked a lot about the tech, but even the smartest AI is doomed to fail if you forget the most important part: the people. At its heart, adopting AI is a human challenge. It all boils down to how you engage your stakeholders, your doctors, nurses, admins, everyone. Now, you might think of AI as this cold, robotic thing, but here's the twist. It can actually make your engagement with people better. It can help you personalize communication, it can enhance collaboration by giving teams real-time insights, and it can help you build an environment where people actually feel excited about the change. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way of managing change was all about these generic, top-down emails. It was a one-way street. But with AI, communication becomes a two-way conversation. It's tailored, it's collaborative. You're creating a space where everyone feels like they're working together toward the same goal. Okay, but with all this incredible power comes some serious responsibility. A great leader doesn't just talk about the shiny benefits of AI, they also have to build the guardrails. We absolutely have to navigate the very real risks and the tricky ethical questions that this technology brings up. Every single healthcare organization has to tackle three things head-on. First, the ethical stuff. Is it fair? Who's accountable when it's wrong? Is it transparent? Second, you've got regulatory compliance. You still have to follow the law. And third, and this one is huge, data privacy and security. Let's just pause on this for a second, because it is so important. Protecting patient information isn't just a nice thing to do. It is the absolute non-negotiable foundation of trust. If you get this part wrong, nothing else you do with AI is going to matter. Period. All right, you've shared the vision, you've built the guardrails, but how do you make a change this massive actually stick for the long haul? How do you make sure this isn't just a flash in the pan? Let's talk about making it last. Now, here's an idea that might feel a little weird at first, but it's critical. You have to learn to love failure. Seriously, Expecting things to go wrong isn't a sign of weakness. It's a core part of a smart strategy. Looking at what didn't work in the past gives you the best possible data to guide you forward.
The key is to create this constant loop of improvement. Number 1, analyze what's worked and what hasn't. 2, train your people constantly so they always have the right skills. 3, listen. Get regular feedback from the front lines. And 4, use that feedback to innovate, building a culture that's flexible and loves new ideas. This isn't a one-and-done project, it's a whole new way of operating.
So after all the strategy sessions and all the data, it really comes down to one simple truth. The biggest challenge with AI isn't the technology, it's the people. It's a test of leadership. So the question isn't whether AI is ready for healthcare. The real question is, how will you lead the change?